Hello there, I'm just walking away from A&W and I've made all these videos really short up until now because I wanted to try to upload them as shorts, but that might actually not work. It's just technical issues basically. I don't have the app for my iPhone for YouTube, and so pretty much it's hard to upload, but I can get to the YouTube studio website and yada yada. Long story short, I'm going to make a little bit longer video, but you might want to skip this one if you don't want spoilers for the movie Weapons, because I just been needing to do this walk and rant for a while now, and I figured I might as well do it while I'm walking from Claremont. Figured it would be good to have a longer video so you can kind of just, don't know if you can tell just from looking at me here what kind of pace I'm going. Kind of thought you might be able to tell what pace I was going, but I guess I realized that's kind of stupid. That how the hell are you supposed to know how I'm going? You might be able to just tell how casually I'm going, I guess. I don't know how much information of my walk you get from this video, but you'll get my rant. Oh yeah, as much as you can hear it over the traffic anyways. But yeah, okay, anyways, warning again, spoilers for the movie's Weapons. Feel free to click off and just check out my next Claremont walking video. I plan on taking a video when I get to the tunnel. Excuse my language, it just came out weird. When I get to the tunnel at the overpass there, I'll make another video there. But for now, let's just walk and talk about Weapons. Before I get into any actual spoilers, I'll just say I really disliked most of the movie. I didn't like the pacing. I didn't like the characters. I thought the movie didn't live up to the trailer. There are lots of things the trailer just did better than the movie. Big trucks. But the thing is, I love the ending, and part of it probably was that it was a lot of frustration built up for having to sit through this movie. I just about walked out of this movie 2 different times. Once because I was so bored, and then the second time I just about walked out was when they introduced the main villain. And well, for one thing, it's so super obvious. It's obvious that it's not supposed to be any kind of a secret or anything like that. It's just supposed to be, bam, there she is, there's Gladys. And everybody, even people in the movie are like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's funny because this movie is like a horror comedy, and every once in a while it works. But I think there's lots of times when it doesn't work. I don't know where to get started with. I'll just start with where the movie kind of starts out. Well, no, I'll just talk about how the movie paces itself. It's cut into a bunch of little mini movies from different characters' perspectives. And boy, it's like you're pouring molasses out of the carton. And you're waiting for the molasses to come, and the molasses just about drips out, and it just about lands on the bread, and then it cuts back to you going to the fridge and taking the molasses out. It's fucking brutal. And yeah, so the way the movie was paced, like, I'll give you an example. Like in one of the trailers, they show this fight in the movie at a gas station, and during the trailer you get to see a lot of the fight happen uninterrupted. Basically they scuffle out in the parking lot, and then she goes inside the gas station asking for help, and then it's funny because the guy's like, get out of here, because he sees this woman being chased by a crazy person. He's like, get the hell out of my store. And it's like, that's funny. But anyways, in the movie, you get to see them scuffle out in the parking lot. She goes in the store, but then before he chases her into the store, it cuts. And then we get to see it from his perspective. And it's like, holy fuck. Pacing just killed me. What else? Oh yeah. I already made a video about this, but the opening narration and the movie poster just lie to you. Like, some of the intriguing things they tell you in the trailer and the beginning of the movie are like, they went into the dark and they never came back. Well, I already bitched about it, but yeah, they get the fucking kids back in the end. I know I'm jumping right to the end now. And the little girl who narrates it, she's not one of the kids. You think you'd have the reveal where the little girl says something, and you're like, oh, look, there she is, the narrator. No, who knows who the narrator is? Yeah, I could ramble a lot about this movie. I will mention, I'm gonna mention the symbolism of this movie, because this movie thinks it's really, really smart. Because it's like, hey, parasites, hey, hint, 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 parasites. And it's like, but you gotta stretch for it. Like, there never was a parasite in the movie, really, because they never actually explain how her witch powers work. If they were like her powers and make her a parasite, and so she has to drain power from people, which was kind of insinuated. But when you're beating us over the head with all these parasites, it's like the shadowing is doing more work than the actual movie, and it sucks. The rest of the symbolism that just made me confused, and when someone explained it to me, I was just mad because of how stupid it was. Okay, there's a couple dreams in this movie, and I've never had so much of a problem with a dream in a movie, except when you find out a story is a dream at the end of the story. Well, that wasn't the problem I had with this. They just did stupid things with the dreams. I thought the teacher, she had a spooky dream, and it was spooky, and it accomplished that. But I think it's Josh Brolin, the guy who played Thanos. He has a dream. Oh my, does he have a dream? Oh. Yeah, I'm not feeling that great. But this dream that Thanos has there, because I never look up who the actor's name is, and I just keep calling him Thanos. He has a dream, and he's chasing his kid, and he follows his kid right back to where he left from, to his home. It like loops around in the dream, because dreams are weird. That's fine. But when he gets back to the home, there's a fucking machine gun above his house, and it says 217, because 217 was when the kids ran away. It says 217 right on the rifle. And it's like, it's just because weapons. That's all it is. It's because, they're weapons. And it's like, the brainwashed people can become weapons. Therefore, machine gun equals weapons. So stupid. Like, I'm sorry. That was just the dumbest thing ever. And the dream gets dumber after that. Thanos finds his kid back in his bed, but it's like that thing where you're in a dream, but you're in a dream. And so he's like talking to his son, and he's like, I'm sorry, like, I wish you'd come back. Like, he knows he's not really there because he's missing him, and he wouldn't be having this dream if he wasn't missing him. But he's basically getting to the fact, he's like, I'm sorry I never said it. I'm sorry I never said I love you. And then it's a jump scare. It's Gladys, the evil witch, is in the bed instead of his son. And it's like, And then he wakes up and he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And that's all I thought afterwards. I'm like, what the fuck was that, you stupid fucking director? Like, I was like, dreams are weird, so you can just have a weird dream. It's like, no, that was stupid. That was moronic. What else? Everything else. The whole movie was stupid. Except for the end. The end was awesome. The end was so awesome. So I jump right to that. Because you follow all these terrible characters around. And the only character I really like two characters. I like Wong. I could have swore they said he was a counselor in the movie, but I think he's a principal. He sure acts a lot more like a principal. So I might have just missed a detail there. Principal Wong, he's a great character. Counselor Wong, whoever the hell he is. And the junkie. I can't remember his name. He has a whole chapter devoted to him, and they tell you his name, but I can't remember his name. I thought they were both great characters. It's like you have this teacher who, like, I know she's traumatized and everything, but she's fucking crazy. Like, I really did not like her. She's because the movie is what it is, it's like she's justified in looking in people's windows and following students home and shit. But it's like, in any other situation, this person is the bad guy. And I totally am on the side of fucking Thanos, who's like, you're the evil one, you're the problem. And it's like, I'm not saying, I thought she could have been the villain, because she was just acting so fucking unhinged. But, I didn't like Josh Brolin's character anymore, because I just thought he was an asshole. But he's the asshole who's like, at least he's doing something, is kind of the thing. Like, these shitty people, and it's kind of the movie Watchmen. I don't know if you've ever seen that, which I think the comic book and the movie have a lot of problems. But it's basically stories told featuring mostly assholes. And you're telling a story with mostly kind of unredeemable character, or at least very flawed characters. And you can do that right. But I thought they did it totally wrong. I do, basically she gets her vehicle vandalized. Someone wrote witch right on her vehicle, and you find out it's Josh Brolin because he has the red paint. And he never apologizes for that, which I think is funny. But this is why it's like, it's goofy because it's bad, not because it's a horror comedy. What does he write on her vehicle? He writes witch on her vehicle. What was the thing that ended up being the problem? It was a witch. It was an actual witch. Josh Brolin, or whatever the fuck his name is, Thanos, he knows how to call himself a witch. He may not have had the right person, but he's like, this here is witch territory. Like, he was right. It was a witch. And so I think that's just so stupid. But I could go on and on. Oh yeah, I'll just go on a little bit about something that bugged me with Wong's part. The difference between Wong's part and the teacher, whatever the fuck her name is, Mrs. Grady. I don't know why she's Mrs. Grady when it doesn't seem like she's fucking married. I don't care, but why call her Mrs. Grady? But anyways, Mrs. Grady is calling up Wong to basically be like, I'm looking in this person's windows. It looks kind of like something's a little bit off over here. And in her version, like part from her perspective, he ends the phone call saying, I'm going to pretend that I didn't have this conversation. Like, this is messed up here. Okay, you need to be stopped. But then when it comes to Wong's perspective, and maybe it's just a different phone call, but it seemed like the same phone call, but with a completely different ending, where Wong is like, oh, you're right. And she was being way more coherent, and she was making good points like, well, CPS needs to be contacted because it seems like there could be a threat to the child. And it was like, yeah, he's like, yes, you're right. I will go through, and he follows through. But from her perspective, that wasn't going to fucking happen. He was just like writing this phone call off and he'd like, no, this didn't happen. So what's the deal with that? Like, maybe they were two different phone calls, but it sure seemed like the same phone call at first. It just, like, why even have the first phone call? It's just stupid. There's a lot of just stupid. Like, when Wong is murdering his husband because he's brainwashed, he vomits a whole bunch of black ooze all over him. Is there a reason? No, there's no reason for that. It was just to make the scene more gross. But it doesn't add up to anything. I was worried it was going to add up to a reveal that this wasn't magic, but it was parasites. So somehow she controlled parasites or something. Because I kept beating you over the head with rubber dicks with the word parasites written on it. But yeah, I'm gonna just say that the ending was good though, because basically you got to watch in the last movie, and of all the little mini movies, the kids movie, which is mostly what you need to see. You don't need to watch the rest. From his perspective, you get to see his parents get brainwashed, and then the witch shows him, who's his aunt, shows him that she's in control and that she can make them like stab themselves in the face with forks. And if he tells anyone, like, he'll be in trouble. And he thinks that if she gets healthier, she'll leave. And she says, if I could get the help of all the kids in your class, I could be healthier. And so he's like, whatever it takes to get this bitch out of here, I'll help her, I don't care. And so he steals all the ingredients for the voodoo magic, because they established that you need an item from somebody in order to brainwash them. And so he just grabs everybody's name tags at school off their little cubby thing. And you know, I would be okay if there are people out there who are kind of against this kid. Like, I know he's like a child character, but without him, a lot of this couldn't happen. Like, if he didn't help her, and if he just tried harder to say something, he could have got something done. But he was a kid, and he was under threat, and it's completely understandable. Because it's like a threat that you can't even imagine. He could, like she says, I could get your parents to eat each other. And, you know, she means it. But anyways, after the kid is... I'll just say one thing, because I kind of want to wrap it up a little bit, because I just got to the train track intersection where I want to film a different video, so I just want to wrap this up. And this movie kind of pisses me off, so I will probably make another rant about this movie just for the sake of ranting. What it is he gives her all the stuff to do the voodoo magic, and so she brainwashes all the kids, and they come running towards her house at 2:17 in the morning, and it's like this horrifying thing, or it would be if they hadn't showed this scene so many times and we hadn't seen it in the previews. It's like they finally have some good music, like freaky brass sounds, like brass trumpets or something. I don't know what they are, but it's a spooky sound when the kids are like running out of their house. But at the beginning of the movie, when they showed the kids running out of the house the first time, was the same time, they use a stupid music that just takes you out of the flow of the movie. And then when they finally return, they're like, oh, don't you remember this? Isn't this scary? It's like, no, it's not scary. It's stupid. And so anyways, I would go into more detail, but I'll just jump right to the end, because it's the only thing that's great about this movie, and it's fantastic. After you sit and watch all this bullshit, it all converges on the house at the end. All the characters converge in there. And everybody's got zombies attacking them. The little kid has his parents coming to kill him. They're like breaking through the door. And the teacher is fighting Josh Brolin or Thanos, because he got mind controlled by the witch. And then the little kid, he grabbed the ingredients for the voodoo stuff, and he grabbed some of the witch's hair, because hair is how you get a brainwashed person to attack the person. You wrap it around a stick, and then you snap the stick. And so he does. But you're not really sure who is the zombie, because the way he's just grabbing stuff, and you're not really sure what zombie he's just sicked on her. And I thought that he sicked his parents on her, like to save himself as quick as possible, like get the zombies out of my face and get them into her face. But no, he sicked all the little kids on her, and it's just beautiful. It's like you hear like the thunder rumbling coming up the stairs, and you realize she's just like, oh no, oh shit, and she just runs out of the house, and she's all disheveled and not dressed or anything, and she's like running through neighbors' houses, and she's like, oh shit, and she's like closing doors behind her, and then the kids are just like a swarm, like a force of nature, and they're ripping through screen doors and breaking through windows, and they're just unstoppable, because they've shown that the zombies. That's what I didn't get to, is that the zombies will run and past the point of exhaustion, and they will not stop unless they've been killed. Or the spell is broken, which you can do by putting the stick in water. But apparently there's another way to break the spell, which is all these little kids, they chase after her, and you get in the perspective of this one little girl who's just kind of got ahead of the group, and she tackles down the old lady, and all the kids swarm on her, and they tear her apart, and it's fucking awesome. They're like gouging her eyes out. It is so good after wanting to walk out of this movie because it was so boring and frustrating. The ending was fan-fucking-tastic. I'll just leave it at that. But, yeah, the walk is going good, and I'm just enjoying a little rant while I do it. This has been Joseph Arthur Roszell, thanking you for watching, and as always, I wish you all luck in the world, and I want you to remember that I love you. All right, bye-bye.